Hello, everybody. It's Jacob from Wager Me This here. This is going to be Monday Night Football Week 4. We can talk about this Sunday a little bit. Did pretty well. Baltimore kind of showed that Buffalo is lacking talent. I think Buffalo was beaten up on teams that they could beat up on with Josh Allen's ability, and then they ran into Baltimore, which really wasn't going for it. Baltimore is a lot tougher. They're much better defense than Buffalo had seen, and probably a better offense than Buffalo had seen as well. And Buffalo got manhandled. I still think Buffalo wins their division, though, just because their division's bad, and I have no faith in the Jets. So, but I don't think Buffalo is a contender for anything. I kind of thought that going in. I liked Buffalo winning their division, but more so just because I didn't like the other teams. But yeah, it still is a good thing to see it, because if he would have came out, if the Bills would have come out and won that game, then it would have been a different thought process there. You know, the Chiefs won again in Chiefs fashion, did just enough to win, figured it out, got there at the end. I mean, with the Chiefs, you've got to cut the head off the snake. If you don't just dominate them the whole game, it's hard to beat them. It's hard to come back and beat them. That's why very few teams do. They own their division. I mean, they destroy their division. And again, we saw it again. The Chargers played a really good football game, except for at the end, right? I mean, then the Chiefs just figure it out. The Chiefs always seem to figure it out. So just hard to deal with them. Anyways, let's move to these Monday night games. So we have two Monday night games again, which is interesting. We have one that I think is going to be a really boring game, and then one that's going to be a really good game. Tennessee-Miami is likely going to be kind of a bad game. Neither team is very good, and Miami is down to Hundley as their quarterback that they got off Baltimore's practice squad. He's had like a week of practice. It's just not going to work. And I know Miami has a ton of skilled players, but they had a guy that had been there for years, a couple years now, and he wasn't able to do anything with them. And then Skylar Thompson, he wasn't able to use them and utilize them. So Hundley's not going to come in there and do much. I just don't believe it. So I think Miami's going to really rely on A-Chain in this one. So I like the A-Chain props. I like A-Chain TD, and I like A-Chain over 63.5 rushing yards. I also like Will Levis over 194.5 passing yards. I don't think Miami stops much, and Tennessee does throw the ball some. I just think that they're going to throw the ball in this one. I actually think Tennessee's going to outright win this game. If it was in Tennessee, I would definitely be on that. But mostly I'm just looking at it as A-Chain TD, A-Chain over 63.5 rushing yards, and then the Levis over 194.5 passing yards. Now, I am pairing Tennessee with Seattle in a teaser. So a 6-point teaser, I'm taking Tennessee up to 8.5 and Seattle up to 10, and I'm pairing them together. So I am on the Tennessee side, but I'm taking 8.5 points to make it work. As far as the Seattle and Detroit game goes, I like Seattle in this game. I'm not a fan of Detroit as far as, like, I don't think Detroit's all that good. I think they're worse than they were last year. I don't think their defense has a good secondary at all. And against these receivers, they're not going to fare well. I also don't think Detroit, if you look at Detroit's point totals this year, they scored 26 against the Rams, but it's misleading because 6 of it was in overtime. So they scored 20. And then they scored 16 against the Bucks. And then they only scored 20 against a bad defense in Arizona. So their offense isn't clicking either. Even though it may look like it from a yardage standpoint, they're not scoring. And so that's an average of about 20 points. I think that Seattle can score 20 points on Detroit. So I'm taking that 4. I like DK Metcalf to get a touchdown. And I like Jamison Williams for Detroit to get over 43.5 receiving yards. That's probably only 1 or 2 catches for him. He catches a lot of deep balls, 1 or 2 a game. So there's a good chance you get all that in one catch. That's what I like about him. I like betting guys like that you can get everything you need in one catch, one run. So just to recap, this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm doing, in the Miami game, I'm doing A-Chain TD, A-Chain over 63.5 rushing yards, and Will Levis over 194.5 passing yards. In the Seattle game, I'm doing Seattle +4, DK Metcalf touchdown, and Jameson Williams over 43.5 receiving yards. And I'm doing a teaser using Tennessee and Detroit, a 6-point teaser, taking Tennessee up to 8.5 and taking Detroit up to 10, +10. And that's what I'm on today, guys. Good luck, everything you need. If you want to join my Discord, which is probably a good idea, send me an email at wagermethis@gmail.com, and I'll send you an invite to the Discord. There's a lot of good betting stuff on there. If you would have followed my college football picks this week, I crushed it, so that's all on there. Well, there you go. You guys have a great day. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.